What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I just came to see if y'all were still fake mad today about Grant Cardone. You know, every couple of months we get, wow, we're so upset, we're mad, and I was like, well, okay, well, how does this stop y'all from one buying businesses, starting businesses, keeping them open, and buying property? This is always my question, right? Because I'm that like person on YouTube. You know, everybody hates that the black conservative asking these logical questions. Again, my question to everyone again, we already discussed Grant Cardone, what he said. We say funny out of pocket stuff every couple of months. My question to you, right? There were several black business owners coming online saying, well, I have investments and I teach training and I teach credit and we don't have to go to these people. And again, what did Grant Cardone say? The person that gets attention wins. And what is he doing right now? Getting attention. So again, I just want to come up here. I know y'all gonna roast me. I know y'all gonna come after me. You're coming after me on Instagram, and I'm good with it. At the end of the day, what Grant Cardone say? Stop you from buying a business, starting a business, keeping it open, and buying property. Right? Again, we have all these people in the community who say, well, I teach this and I teach that. Baby, if they ain't seeing you, if they're not getting attention, if I don't know you, I can't flow you, right? We mad with them for coming up with sayings, but y'all be using them, okay? So part of what I wanted to bring out today is, Ericka, you letting it slide, you doing it. Listen, y'all, get the fake outrage out my face. It's fake because y'all gonna move on to the next thing next week, and it's probably something about 50-50 and all that other silly stuff. Y'all do this every week. You do this every week, so I'm not worried. Now let me go ahead and share the screen with y'all, because first I want to say, well, what's the bank you putting your money in? Right? So again, here, let's go ahead and go there. Black owned bank, new one, coming out the gate in in Columbus, Ohio. Okay. They just got their 20 mil, right? They didn't even need 20 mil, but that's a whole nother conversation, because credit unions can be started for $500,000. Let's really go there. If you're in Texas right now, again, quote me on this. If you're in Texas, there's about 52 credit unions that were started for Latino based community. Let's go there. Credit unions can be started for much less, but let's just go there. This is a black bank that's been started. We haven't had a black bank started in, I don't know, essentially 20 plus years. And so they're going to be in Columbus, Ohio. Why Columbus, Ohio? Honestly, Ohio, when Detroit was being ridiculous and not enforcing property rights, billions of dollars went over to Ohio. That's why rental rates increased in Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland. Right? So money moves where it's going to be respected. It's not going to stay in Detroit if you're not going to respect it. It's not going to rebuild Detroit if you're not going to respect its rights. Some people can play the long game, but most investors cannot. So they went over to Ohio. Peep that on your own time. I'm going to just say peep that on your own time. Figure that out. I don't have all night to figure this out to y'all, but I got about a good 30 minutes. If I ask you, oh, okay, what you doing with your money? What you doing with your money? Oh, what you doing with your money? Right? So if I didn't offend everybody, I meant to offend everybody, right? There's several black banks in the United States, but this is a new one that's getting started. And so it's the same people. We ask them what they doing, where they putting their money. Oh, you people are always talking about money. This is the significant issue. This is the issue. You cry on the internet daily about housing, about the schools not treating you right, and you're putting yourself in a position of victim. You never put yourself in a position of what in this him talking stops me from starting a business, owning a business, and let's even go jobs, right? Because some of y'all gonna cry about, well, everybody don't want to start a business, Ericka. Cool. What's stopping you from getting higher skills to get a higher paying job, which ultimately leads you to buying property? Every day I come on this internet, people tell me about how their grandma got priced out, their uncle, this person got priced out. But when you read it, you're like, well, did they own it? No, they were renting. You always gonna move for the rest of your life renting. Renting means I'm moving every couple of years. I don't know where people think, I rent this apartment for 20 years. I own this place. No, you don't. Every couple of months, I see something where they sell a mobile home park, or they sell some place and everybody there like, I can't believe they're selling this. The word rent means you're moving. That's it. It means you moving. Okay. So Adelphia Bank in Columbus raised $24 million in a startup capital, which marks the country's first new black bank since 2003. Are you putting your money in it? That's all I'm asking you. I'm not asking you nothing else. All this other stuff is foo for all. We talked about what the definition of foo for all is. Black people specialize in foo for all. It means a lot of attention to what? Minor things that don't matter. And of course, Grant Cardone came in there. I just try to talk to everybody. It don't matter. Is Grant Cardone what he said stopping you today from moving your money around in banks, getting your kids in the schools you want, living the life you desire, making the money you want to make, making money in the stock market if so be it? It doesn't. But what happens is we have some of our lowest, and I'm gonna go there, our lowest folks in our community making the most noise, because see, noise doesn't require actual standards, requirements, things you have to do to show that you care or you're gonna change your situation. Again, the number one thing every time I do these videos, uh Super Sly and several people like, Ericka, stop waking these people up. You're gonna make them angry. This is true. When Martin Luther King was shot and killed the night before, he talked about, y'all, we got to really do it. We got to move our money over to black banks and black insurance companies. And then the next day, miraculously, pow, right? Because if you actually study economically what happened when they did those bus boycotts, they about destroyed a city. So when y'all sit here and say, well, people are targeting black people to make money off of us, every city in America has for years, hundreds of years at this point. Mississippi never got back right once they took away slavery. They don't even know how to function. See, you don't even need half a meal. Really, community credit unions, depending on what you start them as, can be started with as low as 200,000. But that's a whole nother conversation. There's several black banks you're gonna see pop up this year. Why? Because people are getting the information, they're getting the game that everybody talks about they want, but they're really actually doing something with it. There are several people I know who are selling their financial literacy to schools and colleges. But here's my point. Every time we have this talk, I ask you, what is the investments? What is the systems? What is the credit? Right? There's so many people right now. If I got y'all into a room I was just in, 50 people in the room, all made a ton of money. You ask them what their investment is. I don't even know. No, because they're so busy trying to be internet famous. There's and one dude was making fun of him, calling him the dancing bear. Mr. Harper. He made up the term today, I think, dancing bear. But at the end of the day, they want to get in these rooms. Harper been buying businesses and selling businesses and keeping it moving. I'm telling you, black people that really doing it are getting offline. They don't have time. They don't have time. I'm literally getting offline. I have to take a break for a few months to complete these like multi-million-dollar projects. They will require my attention, my time. So who is really out here speaking? It's usually, not always, let me be careful. It's folks who have endless amount of time because they really ain't doing shit with their life. Let's just go there, right? And they can do a lot of talking because they ain't got nothing to do for every day they come home. From 5 o'clock to midnight before they fall asleep, they're going to talk about women's, or child support or something else. They ain't talking about improving their life. They ain't talking about where they're going to move their money. They're not talking about investments. Even if they talk about traveling overseas, they get overseas and they stuck over there. Crazy, silly stuff. But that's what we want to focus on. We focus on black people, focus on the foo-for-all. Go look up the definition of foo-for-all. Some people going to be like, Ericka, you're being mean. Nah, seriously. We specialize in that. We make the culture jump. People got my comments because, again, I told you this channel is not just a black channel. There's white, there's Latino, there's Asian, and several white people are like, "Or Ericka, what do you mean we're the culture? The black people are the culture? Baby, let's not play games." From music to sports to food to restaurants there's restaurants that have been started in the South. When the black staff walked off, the restaurant collapsed. It is what it is. We are the culture in many aspects, so much so that we are the culture that if we decide to move left, then the companies have to move left with us. You dig what I'm saying? That's kind of how that moves, right? All these shoes and the TikTok and the dancing and the silly stuff. Again, the culture moves with what's fluent with the culture, whether y'all want to be honest or not. Let me get to this other slide here. right? Because I ain't trying to be here all night. I done told y'all what I need to tell y'all, and y'all can be goofy on it if you want. This is a prime example of why when people said, listen, let's go there. Majority of and 50% of Americans, period. It's like millions of Americans can barely read past eighth grade. So if you actually look at the TV, the culture, if you look at movies from the 1920s and 40s when we actually had huge vocabularies, I mean, you're talking about tongue-tied, long dialogue, musicals full of song, full of words, all this stuff. Now you look at music, you listen, this lot of stuff is dumbed down. It's like repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over, like a special person. I'm just saying that way. So long and the story short, I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I mean this. If you can't read, you are blocked out from literally really living well. And they know that about fourth grade. If you can't read, you're gonna stop going to school. And this is the problem in our community. We can't even have this conversation because if you go on Facebook and you tell somebody, hey, you need to do this or do that, you need to mind your business. Black people gotta mind their business. Nah, we don't. Because you'll be the same people asking for help. This is a prime example. I'm gonna play this. This is Baltimore. Every single year, Baltimore, Detroit, Ohio, they suing the federal government. They doing all this complaining because kids are not being taught how to read in schools. What are those people going to do to us, the community, and others? So let me just hear this. Oh man. Again, Hooked on Phonics is still sold online to this day. You can still buy Hooked on Phonics for like $30 and play it at your house for your children. But let me just go there. Right? They just showed in the 2015 National Assessment of Educational Progress, only 18% of African American fourth graders were proficient in reading. Let me do that again. In 2015 National Assessment of Educational Progress, only 18% of African American fourth graders were proficient in reading. Your first couple years under 8 years old, that's your mom and dad's job. Your children are to read to you. You are to read to your children. That's your job. So until we clear that level, right? Because we got a lot of people out here every year crying about backpacks, $40, school supplies, $40, complaining about haircuts, $10, complaining about stuff that's small every year before these kids go to school. It's somebody else's job to help me take care of these kids. No, it's not. It's you. So again, we can be fake mad all week this week because this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna be fake mad this week. Next week, Grant gonna do something else, and we're gonna be over it. That just is what it is. Y'all already know this. That's why I'm not even making this video long. Let me go ahead and show you this and keep it pushing because I'm about to be out of here.
Go there to get babysit for 8 hours and come home.
Nichelle Watkins is exhausted.
I feel like they don't care. It's not their children. They don't care.
After years of pleading for help from Baltimore City Public Schools.
Look around. I'm in public housing. I can't afford no $1,000 tutor from Sylvan, but that's what he needs, a tutor. How was your school day?
Pretty good.
Her son is in 4th grade at Johnston Square Elementary. For years, she says she's been trying to get the school system to hold her son back, give him time to learn the material, instead of just pushing him through the grades. 5 months ago, in October, she even wrote Project Baltimore asking for help, saying her son is not getting the education he needs.
He can't read. He's in the 4th grade. How is he supposed to be productive if he can't read?
Baltimore City is facing a devastating reality as
then Watkins saw this Project Baltimore story Monday night, confirming what she already knew.
When I seen the name Johnston Square on there, I knew what I was doing and what I was saying was absolutely correct. Nothing. They go there to get babysit for 8 hours and come home.
Nichelle Watkins is exhausted.
I feel like they don't care. It's not their children. They don't care.
After years of pleading for help from Baltimore City Public Schools.
Look around. I'm in public housing. I can't afford no $1,000 tutor from Sylvan, but that's what he needs, a tutor. How was your school day?
Pretty good.
Her son is in fourth grade at Johnston Square Elementary. For years, she says she's been trying to get the school system to hold her son back, give him time to learn the material, instead of just pushing him through the grades. 5 months ago, in October, she even wrote Project Baltimore asking for help, saying her son is not getting the education he needs.
He can't read.
Ooh, Jesus is Lord. Okay, y'all, listen. If there's one thing that will change a child's life is the ability to read. Math problems, other problems, ability to read. Um, a lot of times I'm in even listen, I'm not trying to make fun of y'all or none of that stuff, but literally I put a comment up in the community wall and it literally the article literally says Jane Fonda 85, the guy looking to date her is 90. And everybody was like, she looked good for 90. I said, listen, either you dyslexic or y'all can't read or there's an issue. Like even I misspell words in the community wall sometimes, but it was literally in black and white on the photo. And so even when I post stuff in here, I can see y'all like reacting, and I'm like, okay, are they struggling to read? I don't understand how it's right there in black and white. Now I misspell stuff all the time, but like that's on the paper, right? So again, I want you to understand that this is the mentality. Somebody needs to take care of my child and help him learn how to read when really it's her job. Them holding her child back will not help her child. Her spending the next 3 months over the summer making sure that child is just doing nothing but studying and reading every single day and finding out, is he dyslexic? Does he have a disability? Is he having developmental problems? What's the issue? Right? Can she read? Is a good question. Y'all are answering it. Appliance boot camp. Listen, appliance boot camp, you have to have one big hairy goal. And honestly, reaching people, and this is the conundrum. Oh, Grant Cardone's terrible. The attention. Do you want to spend 20, 30K a month marketing and running ads to your business, to your sales, to traffic, to your company, right? So that you make 10x the money, one, and two, bring more eyeballs, or do people want to stick on this organic? And a lot of people unfortunately want to go, well, I just want to go organic. I just want to do, and I've done this myself. I've been a victim of this myself. Okay. Where I want to do organic, right? Because it's free, right? We get in these traps. And so it's a time suck. But at the end of the day, when I ask you, what does Grant Cardone have to do with you reading? This woman's child reading. 18% of children in the fourth grade, African American children in fourth grade, being able to read proficiently. You buying a home, right? I just at this point have to acknowledge, Diamond Dave says it all the time. 50% of our people just gonna be moved out of Atlanta, and that's just gonna be what it is. They're gonna be like they were moved out of New York, they're gonna be moved out of Atlanta. The way they moved out of Miami, and it's nothing but Hispanic people there in Miami really right now, and other people from other countries, that's what's gonna happen in multiple cities over and over. When I went to St. Petersburg, and I was like, man, this is so nice. It's very cultural, very diverse. Them black people in St. Petersburg, they're gonna be moved. The black people in San Antonio got moved. Ask Nick Taylor. He had a business down there. He was down there. He saw it actually happen. And what is the one thing I just showed y'all weeks ago with the Latino community? Their wealth went up. And only two things they did is what, y'all? Own businesses and buy a home. Let me say it again. In the last 5 years, Latino wealth has gone up. Why? Because they do what? Own businesses and buy homes. And you guys will be on here slicing me to death. Everybody don't want to start a business. You are in a country now where you got to learn Spanish to go work in anywhere in Florida. Half of Texas, you got to be bilingual to go to work. So if you can't, listen, let's just go there. If you can barely read now, and I'm asking you on top of barely being able to read to go learn Spanish so you can have a job, you really need to be listening. You really need to stop all this combativeness on the internet and be listening, because they doing something real simple here. I just left a mastermind meetup, y'all. Before we went to Grant Cardone 10X, it was half the room was Latino and all the kids there own 2-3 houses. literally taking advantage of what is right here in the society. Like, hey, you can go get in this new construction home for $1,000 down and this. And Bank of America, where Bank of America keeps getting sued for blocking Black and Latino homeowners, they're giving away a grant. But see, people's mindset is so short-sighted. They don't understand, why is Bank of America giving me 17 grand to buy this home? Because Bank of America keeps getting sued for doing racist stuff. Right? So all the things that are important, your credit, having your numbers look right, connecting to the right people, y'all not even trying to talk about that. Every day I post, hey, hit me on the Calendly link, book a call with me. Here's a course to buy. Again, eventually this stuff will be all bundled up and sold for $7,000 a pop. It won't be like this for much longer. And I'm telling you that not because, oh man, you trying to tax people. No, because I know what happens when you make something under $500. You get a lot of headache. You get a lot of emails. I lost my login. Reset password is right there on the screen. I don't know how to do it. Just do it for me. You get a lot of that. When you get to about a $7,000, $10,000 range in prices and bundles, they ain't doing that. They ain't doing that. Make it very clear. Again, I just showed you where Raging Bull, Mr. Eat, Trade, Sleep commercial guy, they getting sued for $137 million. That's how I know this YouTube is very powerful and it has power to it. I'm sitting here showing you where the algorithm has bias in it. Even YouTube said it. But you get Black people, oh, the video camera, the lighting, the this. Boy, hush. Y'all sound stupid. YouTube itself said, wait, hey, we trying to figure out where is this? Why won't it act right? Our algorithm is messed up. But you let Black people well, it should be shiny, flashy music, production. Nah, man. You got clear tax dudes standing in front of a white chalkboard with a bad camera light and a bad microphone doing videos and they're getting 500,000 views. Stop. Y'all are your own worst enemy. Talking about Grant is not going to move the needle for y'all. Okay? It just ain't. It ain't. Kids learn alphabet and hooked on phonics on Sesame Street for free. Listen, this is how I tell you these people ain't doing it but listening to music in their house every day and goofing off. That's it. Exactly. She ain't even called Sylvan. Ain't no way. That's all it is. She ain't even called Sylvan. You can get a reading tutor for $25 for 30 to 45-minute sessions, lessons weekly. We know that. Everybody knows that. But her, for 4 years now, she's been fighting. Right? Every day she fighting for this thing, this ideal. She's thinking this is the best way I can help him. Right? Again, libraries have free tutors. We know this, man. Right? I literally was questioning if people were slow or if something was wrong with the screen because people were like, 90 years old. I'm like, are y'all reading? Are y'all okay? What's wrong with your eyes? Put your glasses on. She's in public housing. I don't know if she doesn't work or not, but at the end of the day, if she's picking her kids up at 3:00, she got time. The basics of life. The basic. Reading is one thing. Reading comprehension are different. You are correct. I apologize. Ben Carson mama couldn't read, was making him read books. Y'all got to understand. Some insurances will cover dyslexia testing, especially if you address the concerns with the pediatrician. There you go. California too. In Texas, you do. You need to start speaking Spanish. You're going to learn. Because everybody's like, Ericka, why are you trying to learn Spanish this year? Because I don't want to rely on Google Translate or people's children. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have time for it. Prince County MD, every time a Black person gets foreclosed on, a Latino family swoops in and makes a purchase. Whose fault is that? It takes almost 3-4 years for you to be foreclosed on. So really, in the 3 to 4 years, you could not turn your life around. You could not go to community college. You couldn't get a trade in 6 months. This is some of the stuff that we really want to ask, but nobody really, Ericka, you need to mind your business. Stop talking to people like that. All right, cool. The teacher didn't lay down and have that child. Really didn't. Let me finish this out because I got to go. Y'all out here blowing my DMs up, mad and all this stuff. I'm like, listen, if you ain't talking to me in my DMs about you buying land, building housing, attending either 3 of the events I'm doing this summer, again, I don't care about none of that. Are you joining us in Panama? Are you joining us in Zanzibar? Are you joining us at some of the conferences we're gonna be at and speak at this summer? If you're not, keep it moving. Because we about to do millions of dollars in construction. We don't care about this, because what I realize is, you know what I'm gonna do? There's so many people in our community that do it well, right? Success is hard because it requires consistency, not complexity, right? So you'll meet people who've been building houses for 30 years and they're rich. They just focus on that one thing and they just strike a check. That's what I'm about to do. I'm just going to run up about 10, 20 mil in real estate this year and half of the next year via different ways. And I'll talk about that on the paid channel and the private mastermind I have this summer. You might be able to hop a plane with me, private plane with me, and we'll all go to Cabo together, but that's another conversation. But we'll break all this down because I already know they throwing money out the window. There's not enough of us who are even filling out the forms. I'm talking about disabled vets, Black women, Black men. It's not enough of us even filling out the stuff. So if you see, there's going to be a few people I'm going to be bringing on the channel on rotation. They're almost going to get on y'all nerves because I know what's happening. Y'all really getting left behind. And it's almost embarrassing. Like, even seeing y'all react to Grant Cardone is embarrassing. When half the white dudes he had there, they literally tell you they're dyslexic. They struggled in school, you know? And this is what it is. So let me read this and get on out of here. Neiman Marcus said they will focus on top 2% of their customers, which means I don't mess with broke boys. Yeah, and people like, I can't believe they said that. Why not? Why not? Listen, the number one thing, I keep meeting Black people in Austin. They be like, oh, I got to leave. I'm like, wow, all these jobs. Any of these, you can get your foot in the door. It's the same thing, right? If you look at Oakland, San Francisco, these people leaving San Fran, leaving Oakland. You're like, why ain't y'all getting into tech? Oh, it's so hard. Okay, cool. No problem. I'm gonna just ignore it and nod my head. You know, success is hard because it requires consistency, not complexity. Right? There's a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and the best thing Andre Hatcher used to say to me is slow down to speed up, right? But another thing on that is like one big hardcore goal. How do I get to 30 million in real estate? It's going to be building. It's going to be new construction. It's going to be an apartment building, right? That's my ultimate focus this year. And so many times you tell people, hey, y'all come on. They ain't listening. Keep it moving. Because guess what? Every time I've said this stuff, and Super Sly in the chat making fun of me looking, right? Because he'd be like, stop waking people up. Every time I said this, I'm telling you, and people have fallen off the train. And what do I mean? There are people who I've told, hey, I got this big idea. They done fell off the train. And then 5 more people showed up in their place. I'm telling y'all, they out here. You better get where you need to be. Let me see. Oh, yeah, Black people going to be permanent consumers forever. San Francisco never rains. Yeah, listen. And so that's why I'm laughing, because Black people as consumer base is an old school technique since 1940s. Like, they did integration because they're like, we need them dollars over there. You know what I mean? This is old school techniques. Nothing is new about this. These apartments y'all gonna be living in, nothing's new about this. Right? I'm new to the channel. Who should I look up to for tech? You need to go get on the little click and type in Tech Tuesday. We got a whole playlist of over 50, 60 videos. We did Tech Tuesday for 3 years. You can do it. I believe in you. You can touch the buttons. So listen, y'all be acting like I'm being rude and nasty to y'all, but a lot of this is Google. A lot of this is super easy. There's playlists for tech. There's playlists for real estate. There's playlists for a lot of this stuff. At the end of the day, y'all are welcome to come join me this summer and come see some stuff I'm building and working on. No problem. Put your hard hat on, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm not playing with y'all out here. Right? You know, they arguing with me. Exactly. Y'all arguing with me about $40,000 a year income stuff when, you know, you're not going to make it. So keep it pushing. So again, I want y'all to think real hard. What does the gender war? What does Grant Cardone saying something off-colored got to do with you being able to read? You being able to move your money to the bank you want. You being able to buy some stocks, some investments. You being able to get your credit where you need, because they're getting ready to crank this thing up and crank it down. Now, what do I mean by that? Real quick on my way out the door. They're going to crank all this money up. A bunch of people going to get money on their hands and put it in investments. And a bunch of y'all going to be left out in the cold. Like, what happened? What happened? Oh, no. I'm just telling y'all. All right, you guys. This is your girl, Ericka Classic Climb Blog. I'm out of here. You guys have a good night. Please enjoy yourself. Please be mad at me more. I love it. It makes the day go by. All right, you guys. Later.